News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A guilty verdict for deliberate homicide. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. It is Thursday, October the 8th, 2015. Skies cloudy, but lots of overnight rain. It's 52 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Transport Equipment, your headquarters for RV service maintenance and repair, located just south of the Y. Call 541-9097. A Yellowstone County jury found a Great Falls man guilty of killing a Cascade County Sheriff's deputy by hitting him with a car during a high-speed pursuit near the town of Belt. Jurors deliberated for 4 hours yesterday before finding Adam Sanchez guilty of deliberate homicide in the August 2014 death of Deputy Joe Dunn as he put down stop sticks. Jurors also found Sanchez guilty of assault with a weapon, 2 counts of criminal endangerment, and assaulting a police officer. Defense attorney Tom Bartleson had argued there was no evidence that his client hit Dunn for any other reason than to maneuver around vehicles. Sanchez is already serving a 20-year prison term. Dunn spent most of his time as a youth here in Missoula. 26-year-old Nicholas Dolson of Butte is being held in the Missoula County Jail on a $100,000 bond, charged with felony sexual intercourse without consent after the female victim told police an acquaintance that she knew only as Nick sexually assaulted her on June 12th at her residence on West Broadway. Chief Deputy Missoula County Attorney Jason Marks asked Judge Karen Orzek for a high bail amount due to the fact that Dolson was suspected of other sex crimes.
Mr. Dolson was arrested on a $100,000 bench warrant from this court. We would ask that bond remain in that amount. He confessed to victimizing multiple women in the same manner as the victim in this case. This all occurred while he was on felony probation.
Dolson's bail was set at $100,000. Felony sexual intercourse without consent carries a maximum sentence of up to life in prison and a $50,000 fine. Representatives from the Department of Justice and Education are on the U of M campus this week, gauging the success and progress of the university's nearly 2-year-old agreement over sexual assaults. Vice President for Integrated Communications Peggy Kaur has more.
This is a standard practice for the federal government as part of the ongoing compliance and part of their opportunity to see on the ground what's going on here at UM with training and resources and student opportunities.
Kaur details the general content of the discussions between agency officials and students.
They particularly wanted to meet with students and just hear of students' experiences with reporting any kind of discrimination or assault or harassment, or, as importantly, student experiences with the various trainings we offer.
Kaur said the agencies are involved in similar investigations on over 100 campuses across the country. A judge's ruling limits Montana to using one of 3 drugs in its lethal injections, but none of the 3 is readily available for purchase. That means the state may be unable to execute either of its 2 death row inmates unless the legislature changes the law or the Montana Supreme Court overturns District Judge Jeffrey Sherlock's decision. State law requires lethal injections to be administered by an ultra-fast-acting barbiturate. There have been many more calls to Missoula Animal Control about pets being shot by blow darts in the Lolo area after news about the attacks broke earlier this week. According to Animal Control Officer Cindy Surjala, a lot of people are donating money to find out who's responsible.
We are receiving donations from people, and our reward money is now up to $1,100.
The money is for tips to lead to the conviction of whoever's shooting darts at area pets. Originally, darts had been found on Red Fox Road, Tyler Way, Lantern Ridge Road, and Delarca Drive. But Surjala said the darts are now being found all over Lolo.
I don't have an exact number, but we're getting reports from people that have found the darts and just didn't realize what they were at the time they were finding them. It has expanded out. We're seeing stuff farther south of Lolo and more roads down in the main central area of Lolo.
So far, over 20 darts have been turned into animal control, 7 pets known to have been shot. At least 3 cats are still missing. Detective David Walrod with the Missoula County Sheriff's Office is now handling that investigation. Hamilton Middle School went into lockdown yesterday because of a bear. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Wildlife Management Specialist Jamie Junkel explains.
What we have is a cub of the year in an apple tree adjacent to the school. And not uncommon. I mean, here in the Missoula area, we've had that happen probably 15 plus times. It seems like these older kind of residential areas adjacent to the recess yards, there's always about 15 to 20 apple trees.
During the day, Hamilton middle schoolers were not allowed outside for recess. They had to be escorted from building to building during classroom changes. Jonkel says there are many stray cubs in the valley right now. Jonkel says schools in nearby neighborhoods need to remove all the apples from their trees to prevent this kind of a problem because there are many more stray bear cubs.
Sadly, we've got an awful lot of orphan cubs this year. We've got orphan cubs throughout the Missoula area, up the Blackfoot, up the Clark Fork, down the Clark Fork. This morning I've had probably 8+ calls on orphan cubs.
Jonkel says many of the mother bears have been struck by vehicles, but even more have simply abandoned their young as they search for food. Traditional sources of food ran out early this year, pushing bears deeper into urban areas. A woman has been arrested for embezzlement in Montana while living under an alias to escape a fugitive warrant from Oklahoma. The Ravalli Republic reports 45-year-old Terry Renee Gordonier lived and worked in Montana's Ravalli County under the assumed name of Lisa Denise Tracy for 3 years. She was recently charged with embezzling over $20,000 from her employer, Barnings Chiropractic. During that time, Ravalli County's also charged her with 2 counts of felony drug possession. A former Anaconda attorney accused of embezzling more than $500,000 from clients in a state chapter of a national association has pleaded guilty. The Montana Standard newspaper reports David McClain pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft in a plea deal on August 17th. On September 25th, a chief district judge decided to defer acceptance of the plea agreement until sentencing on December 3rd. McClain's fraud was discovered in July of 2014. And a Billings woman is admitted stealing over $288,000 from a Billings car dealership over a period of 9 years. The Billings Gazette newspaper reports that 51-year-old Renee Zinniger pleaded guilty Tuesday to wire fraud during a hearing before U.S. District Judge Susan Waters. Zinniger said she spent the stolen money on all sorts of things, including using some of the money simply to eat out and go to movies. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
A few lingering showers this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with our highs warming into the upper 60s to right around 70. Mostly cloudy tonight, lows drop into the low 40s. Warmer on Friday with upper 70s and sunshine. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.